All right, I think we're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the It's Time to Write Your Business Book webinar, LinkedIn Live. Not sure what exactly we're calling this, but I am Jen Lafine, founder of Goal Getter Solutions, and I am excited to have my dear friend and partner in all things book writing, Michelle B. Griffin, with us today. So, Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody what it is that you do?
Yes, thank you for having me. It's so good to be back online and live with you, Jen. Hey, everybody, I'm Michelle B. Griffin coming in from Pensacola, Florida. I am a thought leadership consulting working with personal branding, LinkedIn, and PR strategy to help experts own their lane and lead with authority. And one of the things is writing a book is one of the best ways. So we are here to talk about that and how we can join you and support you to get your expert authority book out there.
I am really excited. I was thinking about this today as I was driving into my office, Michelle, because I was thinking like today is the day when someone, hopefully many people, are going to make the decision that it's time to up level their business by committing to finishing their book and getting their book draft written by June 1st. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about in just a little bit about how we can support anyone who is interested in doing that. And I know we're going to answer a lot of questions, but I want to start with, I see G is here already. Hi, G. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. And if anyone else, if you're here with us watching live, we'd love to see you say hello in the comments so that we know that you're here. And for those of you who are watching the replay, welcome. Thank you for watching today. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is why now? Like, why is now the perfect time to write your book? So do you want to start us off with your thoughts on that topic, Michelle?
Absolutely. Well, on the TED Talk I just did the other day, that line, someday is not a day, it does not appear on a calendar. And we say someday, and it just will never come. So I'm guilty of it too, before I, realized this. And, it was my bucket list back in the day, I think since seventh grade to write a book. And in 2022, I got Michelle J. Raymond to say yes to co-authoring the LinkedIn branding book with me. That was absolutely something that elevated our both of our authorities. She had already had one the year before, but it is truly something that just brings you and your expertise and your impact you want to make in the world, right? And so nothing changes it more. And can I just say that we hold ourselves in such, anguish and that heaviness, but just taking those steps to get it done, it feels like a load has been lifted and you reach more people. I could go on about this forever, but that's my quick take. And, I just am fresh off last year writing the second one from
Yes,
our cohort. And
I'll
so I'm
be right
fresh.
here.
Yes, yes. So I know what we both, Jen, know exactly what that feels like. And so I think that's what makes it so relatable for us.
Exactly, exactly. And one of the other things I was thinking about, Michelle, is in this day and age of AI, which I use AI all the time in my business as a thought partner, but we don't know, like, we're not always sure if the content that people are putting out there is truly authentic and is truly representing who they are and what they are. And that's one of the reasons why I love seeing when people have written books,
Yeah.
whether or not their books were assisted with AI in the brainstorming. I mean, that is certainly working smarter, not harder. But I still like to know that when I'm reading a book, I am reading somebody's authentic thoughts, their authentic um, processes. And writing a book can help you truly, truly stand out. So in researching for today's presentation, I used AI and I found some statistics I wanted to share and some facts that I wanted to share.
Okay.
And some of these were a little bit surprising to me, but I can definitely see how they would help. 85% of readers surveyed by Authority Publishing said that they believe authors are experts in their field
Mhm.
just by the virtue of them having written a book. So that statistic kind of shows us how when you have written a book, it automatically raises your
Elevate you.
level,
Yeah.
elevates you and what people think about you and your authority. Because let's face it, writing a book is a big deal. It takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of time to see it through. And so that shows your commitment to what it is you do and the work that you do and who you serve. Another statistic, 70% of authors report landing new clients as a direct result of their book. Who doesn't want more clients, right? And that was by Scribe Media. Another interesting Edelman LinkedIn B2B thought leadership impact study found that books are now considered to be the most trusted content format for thought leadership. And that was by LinkedIn. I thought that was a very interesting statistic. If you're interested in speaking, the National Speakers Association says that authors are 10 times more likely to be invited to speak at conferences if they have a book, and that is over non-authors. And then the last statistic that I found by Forbes was publishing a book can boost your consulting rates by up to 50% because you're no longer selling your time, you're selling your expertise. And I think that's a really key point because when you have a book, that kind of puts all your expertise into one place because not everybody writes a book, right? So if you're looking to stand out, that is a great way to do it. I also want to say that of the people who start a book, less than 0.5% actually finish writing their book. So it's great to start, but finishing is the purpose here, is the point. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes about a container that we are offering to help people get their book draft finished quickly and hopefully with as least amount of pain as possible, because we know that it is a commitment to write a book. So let's talk now, Michelle, about the mindset struggles that a lot of writers face. And do you want to share your experience because you just finished publishing last year, Position Yourself? And,
Yes.
And I love like when we can have authors share some of the mindset struggles that they're going through, because it's so easy to think it's just me. It's just me who's struggling. It's just me who's feeling that urge to procrastinate. Just me feeling like an imposter. Can you maybe share? And I didn't warn you I was going to ask you this question, but
I'm okay.
I think you're okay with sharing.
No, I'm an open book about it. No pun intended. But yeah, first of all, those stats are so strong. And then the sad last statistic, there's such a disconnect. And I'm truly here to help people bring their gifts, their expertise, their message out in the world. So this is a strong passion point of mine. And that's why last year I started writing actually the Own Your Lane book, which you see behind me. It's still coming out, but it's going to be a flagship book. And the problem is you start overthinking. Now, writing, at least for me, it's not hard. It's the organizing of thoughts, condensing it, making it easy for the reader. That's what I do with my Authority Book Blueprint. But when it comes to yourself, we overthink. And then the overthinking is so hard, we put it off and we procrastinate, which I know that's your wheelhouse. So you know that. I struggled. Like I went through my cohort, I got it. And then I realized, hey, my 7 steps needs to be 4. And I just kept tearing it apart. But I knew my goal. I had this goal that by the end of the year, I was going to publish it. And I did load it into Kindle by the end of the year. But anyway, overthinking is a huge thing. And so we don't want to do the hard things. So we have to have, and this is what I teach in this book, our professional purpose is one thing. This is why it's not just for me, it's for those I'm here to help. And so that's what kept me in the game, because even though with the messiest, hardest days, I still stayed in it. And having someone I highly recommend, I had to reach out to someone else at the end. Having someone to cheer you along who's in that with you is everything to keep you going. Okay. Because you'll easily stop. At least I can. If I don't have my professional purpose. But overthinking, it's not hard, would you say? Because you actually drafted another book yourself last year as well. So it's not hard doing that once you get the messiness out the way.
Yeah, we want to help people clear out the messiness. So I don't know. I talk a little bit about on LinkedIn about my past life as a teacher. I taught 4th grade for 8 years. And when I left teaching, I started a company where I helped teachers grow as writers so that they could be stronger writing teachers. So I have been inside the mind of writers, young and old, to be able to kind of get a bird's eye view of some of the mindset struggles. So I just want to take a second here and share a little bit of my expertise in this area as well, of what are some of the mindset struggles that writers face in addition to kind of what you talked about. So first is an overwhelming urge to procrastinate, whether that is procrastinating starting, procrastinating finding writing time on a regular basis, making writing their habit, having this idea that someday they'll write a book. And what I want to say about procrastination is we don't procrastinate because we don't have a strong enough desire to do something. It's because we know that thing that we want to do is going to be uncomfortable. We're going to have to deal with our perfectionism. We're going to have to deal with our imposter fear. And that's really what we're trying to avoid, is the yuckiness and that messiness that comes with it. Also, I've seen a lot of adult writers carry with them that what I call red pen syndrome. And what that means is that you were a young student writing and you received a message through your writing that maybe you weren't a good writer. Maybe you got writing back with a lot of red ink on it. I know it happens. I was a former teacher. You bring your past into your present.
Yes.
And that, in a lot of ways, really stunts a lot of adult writers who are like saying, I'd love to write a book, but I'm a terrible writer.
Mhm.
There are so many tools that can help you be a stronger writer that is no longer an excuse to keep you from writing. Another mindset struggle that I see a lot of people go through that really stunts their writing progress is they get caught in a loop of editing while they're writing.
Yes.
And that is perfectionism, kind of like, I want to get everything perfect before I go on. And I have a strategy to help solve that I'm going to share here in just a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the imposter fear of, what if I write this and nobody reads it?
Yes. Or comparisonitis. Can I put that in there? Because
100%.
I
Yes,
want to make sure that I, compare to my peers, or what are they doing? Is it better than mine? And
yes.
Yeah.
Or what if I say something and it's wrong,
yeah, that's a big one.
or I get
Absolutely.
pushback?
It's all under the fear of judgment,
Mhm.
and it's different for everybody, but it'll haunt you if you don't address it and attack it and take action on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just implode.
So writing a book to support your business is not just for your reader, it's also for you. Because when you can add author to your tagline, it can
Huge.
up-level your self-image so much that it definitely is worth it. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today also, Michelle, and this is definitely in your wheelhouse, is why is a book so important for entrepreneurs to help them grow their business? Do you have thoughts you'd like to share on that?
Oh, absolutely. Other than, what we just said, the stats, your confidence in yourself and others about you, you make this, and this is what I teach a lot of my clients, you make this part of your ecosystem. Writing a book is actually easy. It's organizing the thoughts and the frameworks. And I absolutely, encourage my clients to have frameworks, branded things, especially in the age of AI. So anyway, you create this book, and then you can create an ecosystem around it. You have a free, you can do courses or workshops or do podcasts, newsletter. Basically, it's your content wheelhouse that's
Mhm.
self-supporting. You may never need to ever write something again, or just offshoots. The hard work is a lot done, at least for this book. And it just brings you so much opportunities. Why keep creating the wheel? Just be known for something, right? We want to be known for something, for the problem we solve, for the people we're here for. So having this go-to book, and then the ecosystem to maybe a course or consulting or projects or whatever, it's so much easier when you start from the top and work your way down, or rather work your way down and go to the top of the pyramid, however you want to do it. It's your foundation. You've done the work. Now you can just keep leveraging. And I talk about this in the cohort, is that there's a whole arm of publicity, PR, speaking that comes from this too.
Mm.
And especially I tie it with LinkedIn too. So that it's everything. All the work is not just a one and done. It's a ever growing, evergreen asset for you.
I love it. I love it. I love how you talk about it as an ecosystem, because there's just so much. It's truly like, I love this phrase, work smarter, not harder. It truly is a way to make it so much easier for yourself. And it's just writing the book and going through the messiness of getting that draft done is how it all begins. So I'd like to know, for our viewers who are here with us live, what has kept you from writing your business book so far? If you would be so kind as to share that in the comments. I'm asking you to share that because I also want to normalize the struggle. I want to normalize that a lot of us have really struggled. You mentioned me last year during our first cohort. I did write a draft and I got it finished. I did not take it through the publication stage. What happened? Life life happened. I had a lot of life crises
Yes,
and
you did.
that I won't go into right now, but that kept me from publishing, actually taking my book through to publication. I kind of consider now all of that to be a gift because it wasn't necessarily the book that I was meant to publish at that time. And I
Yes.
know that it will come through at another time. So we have someone here who said, all right, question. How do you weave in the book you are writing, not directly connected to your actual career, but weave it in as a part of your professional identity? Do you have any thoughts on that, Michelle?
I guess I would have to know without, I guess I would need some clarity and context on that to see if it even makes sense. I mean, is it a fiction book, nonfiction, business book? Anyway, I guess that's the thing. If we focus on, and that's the thing I'd like to say, we're focusing on a business book, not like, fiction or novel or something like that. So, and there's no judgment. Like you have your business and you still want to write all that. That is awesome and great. But our stuff is business book. So I guess I would have to have more clarity and context. So I'd love to answer that question. So feel free to put it in the comments or DM me and I can definitely tackle that with some more
I love
info.
it. I love it. I would like to just say though, weaving it in as a part of your professional identity, being able
You
to
can say
sit with
author. You can still say author.
you are an author for
Yeah,
sure, for
absolutely.
sure. And that is a major up-leveling in your self-concept because you're doing something that only 0.03% of the people actually do, right?
Exactly.
And so you are someone who does hard things. And I think
Yeah.
that's
And
fantastic.
personal and professional are very much entwined, in that regard too. In the personal professional development sphere, absolutely. It makes you stand a little higher and you're like, not for being conceited, but just confident. And there's a total difference in being conceited and confident and in your lane and owning who you are and what you've done. That's so strong.
You got it.
So give
You got
yourself all the props for that.
it. Love it. And Kathy, thank you for your comment about finding the time. And that is one of the reasons why we are going to share now about our 30-day business book writing bootcamp. That's a lot
Do
of
we want to and save to the end because we've got our 3 huge tips that are going to tremendously help you, even if you do our cohort or
even if
not.
you don't do our program.
It's
Exactly. We want to
gonna,
share some, make
yeah.
sure y'all have some good tips. So this is going to be our 30-day business book writing bootcamp is we started this last May, right?
Yes.
That was our first cohort. We had a blast. We had several participants who were able to finish their book draft. I
Yes.
think that's a huge celebration. So let's go over the details of the boot camp for anybody who's interested. And I can start with just some of the logistics.
Let's say who it's for though. Let's call out for any, I mean, obviously, we want the right people who are ready. You are ready to go and you maybe be struggling inside like, you might be saying someday, but that someday stronger and it's like ready to pop out because
Now,
when you've got to address that awareness and feelings, that means it's time. Don't hold on. You just never know. So it's for the people who are ready to just pop it in there and need accountability and support. And let's go into how much greatness this is going to be together.
I love it. And let's clarify, what exactly is a business book?
Yeah. Well,
Question.
we're
Clarify what
we're
a business.
not a novel. It's not fiction. It's nonfiction business that support. We say it because it supports your business, your expertise as a thought leader, subject matter expert, coach, consultant, business owner. I mean, we're not going to say, oh, it's not business, but I think our strongest thing, we're not doing fiction and novels. I
Right.
mean, yeah.
Right. So if you take like the thought leadership that you share here on LinkedIn and you were to expand that into a book format, because like, for instance, your book, Michelle, you talk about all of these things on LinkedIn. This is
Yeah.
taking that thought content, expanding on it, putting it into one container that can be accessible. Because let's face it, not everybody is on LinkedIn, right?
True.
And you want to be able to have access to potential clients in other ways. And so that's why it's important to diversify because heaven
Yeah.
forbid if LinkedIn was to shut down tomorrow, you would still need to have a way of sharing your thought leadership. And a book is
Well,
an excellent way to do that.
here's the thing I've said for the get-go, we have to diversify our visibility streams. And your likely ideal client is I search on Amazon all the time for books when I need to solve a problem,
Mhm.
so you can even leverage a lot of the content you're already probably writing and just put it in a structure. So it's for a lot of people, it's not reinventing the wheel. But, LinkedIn is not, especially with the algorithm being down, it's not that everyone's seeing your stuff. So it's another way to get visible and leverage it.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that. So here are the book bootcamp, the 30-day book bootcamp details. We are going to be running our next cohort this upcoming May. We're going to be starting on May 1st. It will run through May 31st. It is essentially a container for you to be able to get your book draft done in 30 days. And what I mean by that is you are going to commit, you are ready to go. You are going to commit to showing up and getting your book draft done in 30 days. It's not about editing. It's not about making it perfect. It is about essentially getting the words out of your head onto the page. And we have many ways that we're going to support you do that. And I think support you doing that. And one of the ways that I'm most excited about, because we did this last year and it was a blast, is we are going to offer co-writing time every Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. Central Time. Okay, because we both live in the Central Time Zone. 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. We are going to ask for those of you who want to co-write with us, show up on Zoom, cameras off. Yes. Nobody's going to see you. Okay, cameras off, microphones muted. We're just going to be writing together. And I know last year this was a big thing because you start your day with a success, right? You get your words written at the start of the day before all the other things can sneak in, including procrastination, including self-doubt. If you roll out of bed, grab your coffee and your computer, and you start writing, that is an excellent way to start the day. And you have friends, and we're expecting you. And I will tell you that if you don't show up, if you say like you're coming and you don't show up, I'm going to check.
She will.
I will message you and be like, hey, we missed you this morning. So it's obviously not a requirement because we don't require anything. This is up to you. If you are wanting to be a part of that co-writing time, we would love to co-write with you. Michelle and I will both be there working on our books with you.
We did every year. And, I just want to say, putting the container in perspective, I think I had this term last year, short-term work for long-term win.
Yeah.
Imagine, we're going to scroll on social media and do all the things, Netflix and all that. What if we channeled some of that into the container of this draft? You were so farther along. I know that's the most tremendous feeling. They can't take that away from you.
You got it.
Did it.
Got it. So May 1st through 31st, morning co-writing time, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Central on Zoom. We are also going to be providing participants with a copy of your business brand book blueprint.
Authority brand blueprint. It's all about book positioning. And I went through this on 2 books. And if you can position your book right, outline all the stuff, it's going to make it so much easier because, essentially your business book is here to solve a problem for the people who are looking for it. So with my branding positioning, thing, we're going to have this blueprint so simple. It makes it so easy. And so we can see the gaps and opportunities if you are missing some of that. So that's really good. So, and we'll provide that once you commit to it and before we start, so you can do the pre-work before our first.
And the thing that I love about that blueprint, Michelle, is it really made it clear of what I was going to be writing every day.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to show up and be like, I don't know what I'm writing today. We have strategies that we're going to share to help make sure that happens. We also are going to be holding weekly cohort meetings on Wednesdays that are, again, optional, and they are recorded. If you can't attend live, they will be uploaded to our Slack channel. But during those cohort meetings, we're going to be addressing any mindset struggles you're having. And you are also going to be talking about how to position your book to help grow your business, which is, you're getting 2 experts for one. And that's so, like, we're so excited to be able to support you in that way. There also will be an accountability tracker. Accountability is my jam, right? And so we have an accountability tracker for you to help not break the chain of writing so that you keep your momentum going strong all throughout May. Now, some people ask, like, how can we write a book within the month of May?
And it's a draft. It's a first draft. Yes.
It's a lot.
Put it that way. Tell them about NaNoWriMo's stats you told me earlier today, and that's convincing.
Right, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's no way you can write a book in 1 month. There absolutely is, because if anybody's familiar, or if you're not familiar with NaNoWriMo, which is a program that runs every November in which participants are challenged to write a 50,000 word book in the month of November. And for those of you in the US, that also includes the holiday of Thanksgiving, right? So there's a lot going on in November. There are over 413,000 people who commit and do that. And that was from 2022, 1900s, long time.
And those are fiction books, not business books. And to me, business books are easier to write for the most part because you're not doing character development, storylines, and all that. So if they can do it, we can do it.
So here we have some options we want to share. If you're not ready to write, like the average, we call it a legacy book. The average legacy book is like usually around 30 to maybe 40,000 words. And those are like the big books that you buy off of Amazon. If you're not ready to write that, write something shorter. And we have a reference we can give you. Chris Stanley writes something called a mini book, which a lot of our participants last year also wrote. Mm-hmm. And that is an option. And those are about 10 to 15,000. That's about 500 words a day when you come right down to it. If you're going to write 30,000 words would be 1,000 words a day. 15,000 words would be 500. That's like 2 typed pages, putting it into perspective. If you can't write that, let's get you into an ebook. Right? There are a lot of options. Not everybody's doing the same thing, which is important to know. You do what works for you. So again, bootcamp details, May 1st through the 31st, morning writing time, Monday through Friday on Zoom, weekly cohort meetings, accountability tracker, Slack channel, guidance from both you and me. And we have a bonus for people who are like ready to commit and say, I am in. And they want to commit now before their self-doubt starts telling them that they can't do it. Do you want to tell them about the bonus, Michelle?
Yes, but before I do, we also are having a few guest speakers to address the self-publishing process, the Amazon process. We have some guest speakers, and then we also have some guidance that, I will give you. I work with authors to help them with their branding, marketing, publicity. So we have that option too if you need help and support, not support, but insights and next steps on that. So we have next steps, guidance, and expert speakers. But we are so in this with you, and we want to help you. First of all, we're going to be writing our next books with you too. So we're not just going to twiddle our thumbs. We're in it with you. We get it, and we're struggling just with you too. But as an added bonus, if you're ready to jump by Saturday the 19th, at 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time, if you commit to joining us, we will gift you a 30-minute session with each of us on how we can support you in the accountability mindset or branding, publicity, whatever, positioning, whatever, our gift to you, because we feel so strongly that now is the time. Someday will never happen.
Absolutely. So, and that's to be used sometime during the challenge in May.
Sometime during the challenge in May.
A chance to get together with both of us. You'll have 2 sessions.
Yes.
To really kind of hone in any of your mindset struggles. If you're having self-doubt, imposter fear, that's certainly something I can help you with. Michelle, expert at branding and in elevating your authority. So that's, again, you must sign up by Saturday at 6 p.m. I wanted to just mention though, because you mentioned it a little bit earlier, like this cohort is for people who are ready to write. Who know what they want to write about. They're ready to get started on filling out their book blueprint, and they're ready to roll. We are not going to help with that. That is not our strength. This is just for people who are ready to write. And also it's important to note, you must have technological savvy. Like we're not going to teach you how to use writing software. We're not going to teach you how to use Google Docs. That has been something that we've had a struggle with in the past. And we just want to make sure that people know when they're signing up that you need to be ready to write. Once you fill out Michelle's book blueprint, you're going to be even more ready to write.
Absolutely.
Okay, just please make sure that you are ready to roll. And again, that bonus is amazing. It's going to help move you forward even faster, but you have to sign up by this Saturday at 6 p.m. So Michelle, we had talked about earlier, we had said that we were going to share
3 tips. Yes.
That link up for people to sign up.
Yeah, go to mybookbootcamp.com and
mybookbootcamp.com and you can join us there. So Michelle, we're going to share our 3 favorite tips for writing, and this is for everybody, whether or not you're in the boot camp, but we want to see you write your book and get your book out there. And so one of my favorite tips that I love to share is that, and this is something that has definitely happened to me, and so I know it will help other people, is when I write, when I'm typing on my computer, I tend to want to go back and like keep rereading and editing when I've already written. Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, all the time.
It's terrible because it really stunts your progress. My tip for doing that is when you feel yourself doing that, take all of your font and turn it white.
It's brilliant.
And that makes your font disappear. And you just keep typing. And your only job is to get your words out of your head onto the paper. I like to say that writing your book draft is like building a sandcastle. The first step to building the sandcastle is to take the sand in a bucket and dump it on the beach, right? You're not shaping anything until you get all the sand where you want it, right? So one of the ways to do that is to turn your font white, if that is what is keeping you from moving forward. So what is one of your favorite writing tips?
Okay, so that kind of works this tip into mine because I struggle with that so much. So here's what I did to write book 2. My brain fires and I talk fast. I'm sorry, I just do, but I can't type very much. I can't speed type or type that great or fast. So I do audio writing and I do daily walks. So basically I use a tool and you can use whatever video recorder you want, but I use something called Audio Pen. And I went and outlined my chapters. And then on my walks, I would just do it. It has you do transcription. And I basically talk out my book. I just ad lib it because I'm not good with a blank screen. So I'll just go ad lib it, records it and transcribes it in real time. It puts it in the right place. And then I can go back and write from that. So audio writing has, and I do it with otter.ai too.
Mm-hmm.
But I notice that I don't edit. And then when I'm walking for me and talking it, the ideas flow better and it captures. And then I can easily go edit from there. So that's what helps me write faster and more efficiently is what I call audio writing. So try it out if this is something you struggle with. And I think it's going to really help you avoid the blank page horrors, you know?
For sure, for sure. Excuse me. So our last tip, this one is kind of in my wheelhouse, is make writing your habit by writing at the same time every day. Okay?
Don't break the streak if you can.
Don't break your chain. Don't break your chain. So Jerry Seinfeld, I keep talking about this don't break the chain concept. Jerry Seinfeld has the reason that he is such a great comedian and has so many great jokes. Like a young comedian asked him one time, like, Jerry, how do you write such great jokes? And he says, because I hold myself to writing a joke a day. And when I write the joke, I put an X on the calendar. And my goal is not to break the chain. My goal is to make sure I can keep putting X's. And one of the ways to do that is to set a time for writing every day, which is the reason why we're offering the 5:30 a.m. writing time, because it's before the day begins for a lot of people. And it's at the same time. So
I love that.
Your habit.
I wrote several years ago an article called, I call it streak building. I'll put a link in the comments. And that's what helped me. I set a challenge for myself in 2021 to post on LinkedIn every day. It was just a personal thing. And I did. I was like, I'm not breaking the streak. And so I wrote this whole article on that. And I love that. I think it originated from Atomic Habits. And Jerry back in the day had this 365 wall calendar. I think it was as tall as the ceiling. And that visual, I think, Jen, to add to that visual, there's even apps you can get for that you can just go in and put the red X. And that does something to the psyche, right? To not break the chain, the confidence in yourself and the courage to keep going. So those are 3 great tips. So whether you join us or not, we want you, because we believe in the power of a book to boost yourself, your business, your legacy, all the things, to get that out there in the world. But we know that you and I, together collectively with the people we served in the past and our clients, the journey and the accountability is what keeps you going. And not to mention when you're in the same context and the same sometimes struggles and triumphs and all the things with people, it's a feeling like no other. You're in this together and you're going to do this together. And that's so powerful.
Yes. So I'm writing and you're writing, and we would love to have you write with us. So again, visit mybookbootcamp.com, get yourself registered, sign up by Saturday. Don't let your self-doubt sneak in and deter you from doing this. If you are ready, we are ready to help you.
And if you have any questions for Jen and I, you can either put them in the chat and tag us or reach out to us on DMs and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Our DMs are open. We would love
Yep.
to answer any
Yep.
questions for you and support you in
Yeah.
any way possible.
So remember, sign up ends on April 29th. The bonus ends this Saturday. So go grab it. We would love to see you. Happy writing, everybody. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Happy writing.
Bye,
Take care.
everybody.